grind hard to get ahead. You trying to go backwards.
Feeling like the old me. Feelings from the past, pray the Lord block it all out. I was in love with you.
What's up? It's your boy. Can't you turn on YouTube shit? Hey man, say man, we are lit. Lit through my motherfucking teeth, man. Turn up. Today, it's a motherfucking day. We about to watch, he robbed a bank and got away except for one thing, man. We were gonna watch another video, a Judge Mathis video, but YouTube tripping and copyright ban shit. So we about to watch this one, man. We about to see how this nigga almost got away with the bag, man. Figure, let's go.
In 2011, Gerardo Adnan Cazares Valenzuela nearly walked away with $4.3 million in cash.
Damn, bitch,
Usually it takes
$4.3 million,
amount of
nigga?
time to plan a heist like this. But Valenzuela,
Ain't never got to
who was
work
also
ever
known just
again.
as Gary Cazares, simply
Bitch,
put millions of
goddamn.
dollars into a box and just left the bank. So how did Valenzuela drive away with such a huge stash alone after just a few months of planning? Gary was a vault manager at KeyBank in Anchorage, in the largest city
bruh.
in Alaska. That probably tells you more than enough.
You
as
gotta be
far
the
as
inside
heist is
man.
concerned. Valenzuela had access to millions of dollars that was not his. All he needed was a good plan and a little bit of luck to pull off what most people only dream of. According to the U.S. Department
about
of
to get the
Justice,
bag,
the former
nigga.
vault manager was looking for the upper hand against his then employer. Apparently, the bank was going through personnel changes. Valenzuela thought that he would have easily been one of the people let go at that time, and that would have effectively rendered him jobless and no cash flow, of course.
Fuck.
So Valenzuela
So
decided
he say he
to
gotta
take
get the
things
bag
into
before
his
they
own
let
hands.
him go.
He took a shot at not just securing his future, but also ensuring he got a little bit of revenge at KeyBank for planning to put him out of work. The plan that Valenzuela
There be
had
some
planned
bitches,
out
bro.
would have worked out perfectly if it weren't for one tiny mistake. Before Valenzuela had even laid down the groundwork for his heist, he had hinted his intentions to his girlfriend. According to the Department of Justice
shit.
report, he told her that he could just rob the bank easily. There wasn't anyone at the bank that was physically watching over the vault. It was just video surveillance. That was an advantage on his part, since it meant he could
Damn,
slip
so
away
nigga, ain't
without
nobody
having to
watching the
deal
bank,
with anyone else.
just cameras,
and
bruh.
because no one watched over the vault, it was one of the big reasons he didn't need any accomplices the day of the
Hey, coulda
crime.
got away with
But
that
doesn't
shit.
mean he didn't need a few people here and there in his grand scheme of things. On July 8th of 2011, Valenzuela was lucky to have a new employee training under his wing. This
Hey,
was something
man.
that gave him the perfect opportunity to pull off his heist. This was because whenever the vault needed to be opened, the standard operating procedure required 2 people on hand to open it. However, here's what happened. Valenzuela trained the new employee on various vault procedures. While he was training the new employee, Valenzuela simply eliminated the part about dual controls over the
Oh,
vault. And it was
shit.
just a few weeks later that he realized he found that the 2 loopholes, the lack of both physical surveillance and dual control of the vault, were all he needed to easily rob the KeyBank Anchorage branch. On July 28th of 2011, Valenzuela did a test.
had
He
it.
stole $30,000 from the bank's vault, all without any problems. With $30,000 cash on hand, he went ahead and splurged most of it. He spent $24,000 on a private jet that flew him from Anchorage to Seattle. This was where he met his girlfriend after the big heist. He had actually
big
already flown
dummy.
her out a couple days before
You
to
don't spend
Seattle.
that much
With the
money.
jet chartered, Valenzuela moved in for the perfect score. The big day was on July 29th, which was a Friday back in 2011. Considering the hefty amount of cash he planned to steal, Valenzuela needed plenty of time. That meant staying late and staying alone. So, he came up with a plan. He told KeyBank's branch manager that he was supposed to be organizing an ice cream social for customers that night, and he'd stay later than usual to clean up as well. The branch manager left for the night without any suspicion. With the bank vault all
Big
to himself,
brain.
Valenzuela simply packed $4.3 million in cash in 3 boxes and then just carted them to his car. Valenzuela then drove to the private airport where the private jet was waiting in Anchorage and flew to Seattle. But
Damn!
before he left the bank, he took care of one tiny detail. He set the timer on the vault to lock for 6 days, the maximum allowable time, so no one would notice money was missing. He had also mailed his and his girlfriend's phones to New York in order to throw off anyone that was looking for them once they figured out what
Damn,
happened.
this nigga's
Of
smart
course,
now.
when the vault was finally opened, KeyBank employees discovered that the vault was short on a huge chunk of cash. But by this time, their former vault manager was already way across the border, and he had no plans of ever coming back or ever
You
being
dig?
on the grid
Outta
again.
there.
In Seattle, he bought a Ford Fusion, and he and his girlfriend drove to California. He also bought some protection in the form of an AK-47. At this point,
Hey, that nigga
everything was
ready.
going to plan for Valenzuela. His
Damn.
final destination was just getting to his uncle's place in Sonora, Mexico. This is where luck was not on his side. His uncle suggested that they take a bus to his place instead of driving the rough Mexican roads. So they drove to Tijuana and abandoned the car. They then bought bus tickets for Sonora on what was the last trip for Valenzuela as a free man. On August 2nd,
Damn.
2011, the bus was stopped at a Mexican checkpoint. The passengers were told to leave the bus with their luggage. And this was when Mexican authorities looked inside his bag and discovered millions of dollars. Mexican police
Damn.
found $3.8 million when they arrested Valenzuela in 2011.
Ah,
for
shit, he
thinking
got
to
away
steal
with it.
$4.3 million. We'll get to that in a bit. But just like that, Valenzuela was arrested on allegations of money laundering and illegal arms possession. He was also charged with smuggling. These charges alone in Mexico earned him a 7-year prison sentence. When he finally got out in 2018, it wasn't over yet. He still
Oh,
had to
shit.
deal with the U.S. authorities. If it
Oh,
wasn't for a
man.
completely random full search on a bus, Valenzuela would most likely still be hunted today. Really, what should have he done instead? Did he really need to have gone to his uncle's remote
No!
place somewhere in Sonora, Mexico? Why did he need to see his uncle? Of course, only Valenzuela knows the motivation. He
Right,
probably
just fuck
should
that
have
shit, I'm
avoided
out.
all remote
It
areas in
disappeared.
Mexico
Not go to his
at all
uncle's
costs.
crib.
We definitely liked his choice of buying a non-flashy getaway car in the Ford Fusion. What he needed to do was stay on the main roads and blend in as best he could. Valenzuela could have easily disappeared if he did not attract attention. He also needed to do his research and avoid all areas with known checkpoints. If he had not gotten
Damn.
caught with the random full search, he could have just laid low for a few months off the grid. He would just go to a random big city in Mexico and blend in with the locals. If he had planned his heist further
Right, he
out,
had
he
it.
could have taken the time to buy fake documents and IDs somewhere before doing his heist. This way, he would have had fake IDs on hand, ready to use, making his life easier when he got to Mexico. As time goes on, Valenzuela could have easily figured out a way to slowly launder his stolen cash through some sort of fake business.
And got that
With
shit
crypto
right back
slowly
clean
coming
and
on mainstream,
everything.
he could have waited years to carefully reintegrate back into society with his fake ID and laundered money.
This
in a
big
carefully
dummy was trying to
chosen
go to
country.
his uncle
But of
crib.
course, in this reality instead, he was still a wanted man by the U.S. for stealing millions of dollars from a bank. The Mexican authorities were quick to extradite Valenzuela in September 2018 as soon as he got out of jail. In a letter to the judge pleading for leniency, he wrote that the point of his heist was to raise money for his dad's medical bills.
Fuck
Whether
no,
that's true or not,
baby!
his father did pass before Valenzuela got to trial in the U.S. But even if the main motivation was to pay for his dad's medical treatment, prosecutors also argued that revenge was another factor.
Damn.
$4.3 million was way too much for medical bills.
Ooh.
It definitely gave some weight to the federal prosecutor's claims that he was out for vengeance. Valenzuela admitted that he had given the missing $500,000 to his dad for medical bills, but according to his family members, they never got to use the cash. That's because it was supposedly stolen right out of their car. But the prosecution didn't believe him. They had other ideas about where the funds went. According to them, Valenzuela hid the $500,000
You
somewhere
did.
in Washington before he drove to Mexico. With the hidden stash, he hoped to have some cash in case he did get caught. Valenzuela ultimately pleaded guilty to the theft, And on April 29,
Damn,
2019,
man.
he was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Man.
His time served in Mexico did not count towards any of the
Damn,
new
so he has
sentences.
been
His
17
girlfriend
years,
ended
basically?
up never getting charged with being an accomplice. Here's what's next.
Damn, bruh. He almost fucking got away with it, bruh. If he went to his uncle crib to go talk to that nigga about some bullshit and checked out before he left, he would have got away with it. He already got $3 million in his bank account. Dang. Nigga, all you had to do was just stay in that city for a little bit. Not even that long. Put some of the money up. Nigga, you good to go. This nigga had to be a big dummy, go all the way down to his uncle crib and just get caught, bruh. Hey, man, say, man. That's how it goes sometimes, man. Sometimes you can get away, sometimes you can't, man. But at the end of the day, shit, it is what it is, bruh. How y'all niggas like this video, man? The other video got deleted, bruh. YouTube home, like always. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to this bitch up, man. We out this bitch. Deuces.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.